Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, you're kind, you're always there for people, but you're just not getting the respect you deserve? It's a strange thought, right? But today, we're going to dig into a really counterintuitive idea, that making yourself a little less available might actually be the secret to being valued more. Let's get into it.
So let me ask you this, straight up. Is your kindness, your constant willingness to help out, to always be on call, is it actually costing you respect? It's a tough question, for sure, but an absolutely crucial one to ask.
For most of us, the goal is pretty simple. We want to be respected. But what's our game plan? Well, it's usually being constantly available and just being nice. And this right here is where a huge paradox kicks in. The very thing we do to try and earn respect might just be the thing that's chipping away at it.
And that brings us to something we can call the kindness paradox. It's that tricky situation where our best intentions, our desire to be good and helpful, completely backfire on us.
I mean, think about it. We're pretty much all raised to believe that being agreeable and always available is the golden ticket to being liked and respected. It just feels right, doesn't it? But what if that whole idea is fundamentally flawed?
Well, here's the twist. The psychology behind this stuff shows that this strategy, this constant availability, often does the complete opposite of what we want. Instead of building respect, it can slowly, quietly eat away at it.
So why? Why does that happen? Well, the answer is rooted in a really basic principle of how our brains work, and it all comes down to one word: scarcity. Let's take a look at how our brains decide what's valuable and what's not.
This statement is so powerful. From diamonds to limited edition sneakers, things that are rare or hard to get just feel more valuable, right? Our brain is hardwired to assign a higher worth to things that aren't easy to come by. And believe it or not, the same exact principle applies to people.
And this is the key insight for you. You have to start seeing your time, your energy, and your presence as precious, finite resources, because they are. And when you stop giving them away so freely, you'll find that other people start to value them a whole lot more.
Now, there's actually a psychological term for this whole dynamic. It's called the overfamiliarity effect. And really understanding this is the key to flipping the script.
So what does this actually mean for us? Well, it's pretty simple. When we become too predictable, when our kindness is just a given, it stops being a pleasant surprise. It becomes an expectation. The specialness of our help just fades, and so does its perceived value.
And here's how that process works step by step. It all starts with you being constantly available, always saying yes. Pretty soon, that kindness becomes predictable. After that, it becomes expected. And that's the danger zone. People stop seeing your help as a generous choice you're making and start seeing it as an obligation you owe them. And boom, that's when your effort starts getting taken for granted. Okay, so if being on call 24/7 is the problem, what on earth is the solution? Look, it's not about becoming a jerk or being unkind. It's about reclaiming your value by learning to use one of the most powerful words in the dictionary: no.
This really cuts right to the heart of it. Saying no isn't a sign of weakness or selfishness. It's a signal of confidence. It's a sign of self-respect. It shows the world that you value your own time and your own commitments.
So we have to reframe what no means. It is not about rejecting a person. It's about accepting your own limits. It's an act of valuing yourself enough to say, I need to protect my own resources right now.
And what are those resources? What are you really protecting? These three things. They are your most valuable assets, period. Your time, your energy, and your attention. Learning to say no is how you build a fence around them. So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Kindness is a superpower. It's absolutely a strength. But there's a massive difference between being a kind person and being an endlessly available person. When you're too available, you accidentally teach people that your time isn't that valuable, and they just might start to underestimate you.
Now, this isn't just some abstract theory, okay? This is a practical strategy you can use. So I'll leave you with a final question to chew on. Where in your life, this week, can you reclaim some of your value? Where can you say a strategic no to start commanding the respect that you absolutely deserve?